WrestleZone presents Lost in the Midcard. Here are your hosts, Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where WrestleMania season has become Slapsgiving. If you remember that reference, then you'll laugh like Matt did. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. 311 Day. Happy 311 Day, the day after Happy Mario Day. As we roll on, WrestleMania season continuing to get interesting. And, of course, AEW coming with a strong week as well. We're going to get into all of that and much more. But first, make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. All you got to do is search for WrestleZone, all one word. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you know when we go live every Monday night, 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central. Give us a thumbs up on the video on demand. Help us get this reached out to a lot of people. And as always, really appreciate everybody, the diehards that are in the chat with us. Ozzy and Mark Cho in there with us right now already. And we're gonna get things going. But first, make sure you follow us on the Twitter as well. You can follow me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he's on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Dude, 2024 in the world of professional wrestling is something else. We're only in March, man, and I'm so thrilled to be alive in this moment. The world that we're getting right now of wrestling almost on like every single day of the week. I've been around for a long time. You've been around for a long time. When I was growing up, I took the Monday Night War era for granted, and then it all went away. And I never thought we'd see a time like that in professional wrestling again. And the fact that we are where we are right now on the road to WrestleMania with AEW firing on all cylinders, with everything that's going on in professional wrestling right now, what a great time to just love professional wrestling, man. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm excited to talk some graps this evening before Monday Night Raw.
I mean, not Dynamite, but WrestleMania season has been one of the better builds, I think, in recent memory. And then you couple that with Dynamite and Collision just nailing it this week as well. And we're leading into, we're going to have an April pay-per-view for the first time in AEW history with Dynasty, which, I mean, Danielson and Ospreay, hello. Okay.
That's all they needed to announce.
Oh my God.
Honestly, people that originally weren't going to go to that show are going to travel to St. Louis to see Ospreay and Danielson now. Like that was the smartest match to announce right out of the gate because that's going to move
drive or a 1 hour flight. Man. It's a 6 hour drive or a 1 hour flight.
I'm considering it. I'm not going to lie. I'm considering.
I've never been to an AEW show because
I need to know more of the card, but yeah, I'm definitely I feel like I'm already going to Forbidden Door, so I don't know if I need to go to Dynasty. But man,
when and where is Forbidden Door?
It's going to be at Arthur Ashe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I've never
is
been.
Is it going to be June again?
Yeah, June. So, I know I'm going to Forbidden Door, so I don't know if I want to double up with Dynasty, because everything's so damn expensive nowadays. But
yeah,
I'm considering it.
I'm going to Denver in September for Incubus, and yeah, I don't know if I can afford. I might be able to afford. If I get some weddings set up, I probably could.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But it's interesting. Yeah, well, let's see what happens with the computer. I've tried a million things. It's a hardware thing, obviously. I don't know if it's the mouse going weird.
Yeah, a few people
So
are talking about it. Ozzy wants to know if you're gonna freeze up this week. So
I moved the dongle to the front. I bought a new graphics card, which will be here tomorrow. Where I can plug both monitors directly into the graphics card and not in the motherboard, which I've heard that could be causing some errors.
it's possible.
It's a hardware thing with somewhere with the video, audio, or mouse. I'm guessing something is causing it because, I mean, I've gone how long? I mean, this computer's like, I think 2 years old, not even 2 years old, maybe I think 2 years in June, so just about 2 years old.
Well, knock on wood, we're not gonna have any freezing issues today because we've got a lot to talk about.
So all the episodes I've done on Sportskeeda, then us on Believe. I mean, yeah, it's just all of a sudden happening. The only thing is that the graphics card, but I've had that graphics card for about a year now, so I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, but hopefully we got it figured out. Maybe it's some drivers conflicting. I don't know, but I bought more RAM and I bought a new memory card, or not a memory card. It's not a PS2. I bought new RAM and I bought a new graphics card. So hopefully the combination of all. Well, hey, I might be able to play some new games now on my computer, even though I'm not a big computer gamer. But and if anybody needs 16 gigs of RAM, I can give it to you cheap. Because I can't use that. I had to do because those are 8 pairs of 8, and you can't combine 8 with 32. So I got 32, and then if I need another 32, I'll buy another 32, and then I could buy another 32, and I could buy another 32, and then have way too much RAM. But anyways, let's get into our lead, which is Wednesday. Oh my God, I love this handshake. By the way, this is just such an asshole handshake. It's just, these guys are assholes. I love it. Kazuchika Okada, though coming out in a suit might have telegraphed it, but going into Wednesday night, I don't think anybody could have believed that he was going to be siding with the Young Bucks. And as I will kind of read to you a Fightful Select post about that here later. But yes, during a Dynamite, Okada comes out, presumably to save Eddie Kingston. And no, he hits him with a Rainmaker. And but oh man, I did not see that coming, Matt. Yeah.
I predicted him to be the Young Bucks' big announcement. As soon as they put out the tweet that the Matthew and Nicholas Jackson have a big announcement or major announcement or whatever the terminology was, I'm like, all right, they're gonna do the Tony Khan thing, and they're gonna announce that they've signed Okada. So
But
I got that part. I did not expect the heel turn and the joining the Elite, which perfectly sets up a future match between Omega and Okada at Forbidden Door, All In, depending on depending on his health and how he progresses in the coming months. It's to me, I'd probably hold it for All In.
Yeah.
But man, like
Forbidden Door would make sense because they're both AEW now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Forbidden Door is going to look pretty different this year because there's not a whole lot of gigantic star power coming out of in New Japan at the moment.
Unless you call the game.
And I'm sure CMLL will be involved this year, and I'm sure they'll claim Ring of Honor involvement.
Call the game.
They're not going to call the game. Look, as much as we would love to see AEW and WWE cooperating and on the same page, I do not foresee that happening for this year's Forbidden Door.
No,
I don't see it. It's not happening.
Kenny Omega on his Twitch stream a couple of days ago provided an update. He had recently underwent emergency treatment. He's been sidelined since December since suffering diverticulitis, and so yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on anytime soon, but you never know. The power of Okada might heal him.
I'm hoping for All In. I'm thinking All In is a realistic request.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't have to have surgery. If he has to have, if he ends up requiring surgery, all bets are off. But if he doesn't end up requiring surgery, I think All In's a realistic timetable to see that match. And I mean, looking ahead, let's say we get Omega, Okada, we get Danielson, McGuinness, and potentially Swerve and Ospreay for the AEW World Championship. Let's fucking go, man.
Yeah.
Maybe you do Saraya and Mercedes Moné as well.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, dude, there's so much there's so many big matches that they could put on All In this year. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild to see Okada come in as a heel. Completely unexpected, especially coming out of the gate, because so many AEW debuts babyface for a while. And then MK in the chat, do you think AEW should have publicized the Okada debut? Should they be publicizing Mercedes for Wednesday? I mean, they're basically spoiling it to you without, I mean, it's in Boston. It's big business. It's like they're spelling it out for you, like they did CM Punk when he debuted on Rampage. So I think they're doing it just fine.
Yeah, but what about Okada? Should they have promoted his? In your opinion, should they have hyped him up, or was the
No.
big announcement from the Young Bucks more than sufficient?
I think it was just fine because of the fact that he's coming in heel. We kind of expected him to show up Wednesday. We didn't know for sure.
I
But we
did.
still,
I definitely expected him on Wednesday. I just in the manner of which he was used, I was taken off guard, but I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with not. I mean, we all knew he was going to be all elite anyways, and just the fact that, yeah, they didn't really need to publicize it because of the way he came in and made a bigger impact. The publicization came in with him being reported as heel with what he did with the Bucks against Eddie Kingston. So that was the publicity of Okada coming based on his actions from his debut. So I think it was perfectly fine.
You know, I mean, anybody who wants to see him will be able to tune into Dynamite this Wednesday and watch him compete in a huge trios match.
Saturday
with
on
Matthew and
Collision.
Nicholas against Penta, Eddie Kingston, and the returning Pac. So that's the night to tune in because you're gonna get like a mini pay-per-view and you're getting Mercedes Moné, man. Like I think that Boston show on Wednesday night's it's gonna be a home run.
I mean, we usually cover
really
this at the end, but since we're here, let's do it right now. Samoa Joe against Wardlow for the AEW World Title. The Elite six-man match, as we just mentioned, Pac returning and joining up with Penta and Eddie. Is Phoenix still having visa issues? Or is he hurt?
No, I believe it was the latter. I believe he was injured, but he's recently announced, I believe, for a House of Glory show next month. So I would imagine that he's clear now. So I would think we'll see him back on AEW television sooner rather than later.
Darby Allin against Jay White, which probably be the last time you see Darby in a while as he gets ready to climb Mount Everest. Willow Nightingale against Riho. Hook and Jericho. Hook against the Gates of Agony.
Yeah, MK says he's only saying it because the IWC bashes the AEW attendance. I agree. Who cares? There were a couple year periods just a few years ago where WWE had to tarp off half their buildings. Just a few years ago. Now they're selling out every week. These things happen. The wrestling industry, in terms of these type of shows, they fluctuate. And I think once AEW gets their bearings under them in terms of proper local marketing for their upcoming shows throughout 2024, I think they're going to improve as well. I don't think they're going to be doing WWE sellouts every week, but I think their overall attendance is going to improve. Actually, I think it already has. I think a great deal of their attendance has already improved in 2024. It's not where everybody wants it to be, but I think they're moving in the right direction. I think wrestling in general is moving in the right direction right now. I think some people just they don't have patience and they don't understand that things just go up and down, in the world of wrestling.
I
And
mean,
as long as you continue to book the product properly and you market in the local places that you're heading to correctly, you're going to be good. Like things worked itself out for WWE. It works itself out for AEW. It works itself out in wrestling in general.
you got to
So
keep
I
in
honestly,
mind.
the people that make those type of arguments on social media, just ignore them, mute
Yeah,
them, block them. Move on. Don't even engage in the conversation because it's silly and petty, and they're just looking to cause arguments with people.
you got to
And
keep in mind Saturday is not a normal wrestling attendance night, so Collision is not going to be attended by a large, and that's why they run smaller venues for Collision.
well, Collision was particularly in a bad spot last week because they ran it they taped it on a Thursday
Yeah.
to air on Saturday, and it was in the same arena Dynamite was the night before. A lot of people don't have the money to buy, you know, back-to-back night event tickets to this. They'll choose Dynamite over Collision, nine times out of 10, and
Yeah,
that's just going to happen.
and
I
you're gonna
still
have
thought the crowd sounded pretty good from the taping.
16,000. You're
So
gonna have about 16,000 people in Boston probably on Wednesday. So it's gonna be well attended on Wednesday.
I'm
So
guessing they will. I'm guessing they'll be somewhere between 8 and 10. Okay.
why was I thinking 16? I thought it held 16.
16 was Revolution. You're thinking of Revolution from
Oh,
the pay
yeah,
per view.
okay.
I'm thinking final attendance for Dynamite this Wednesday will probably fall somewhere between 8 and 10,000.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. They could go even higher. I always, if you look at AEW ticket sales, they always boom within like the last 72 hours because that's when the local marketing finally decides to kick in, and
Yeah.
that's when people end up buying their tickets. If they I think that's AEW's main problem in terms of their travel right now is they don't market their shows locally as hard as they should for an extended period of time, and they do it like right before the show. I think it should be a much longer period where they're out there, letting people know that AEW is coming to their city. I think that would go a long way.
Man, if you want to be a part of history though, a lot of good tickets on StubHub right now. Lower bowl you can get about the back end of the lower bowl you can get for 21 a piece. That's of course before your
That's not
bullshit
bad at
fees.
all.
That's before the bullshit fees. So you're still paying 40 a piece, but um yeah, I mean, a lot of good seats there. I'm guessing a lot of scalpers probably thought they were going to make bank off of it. And let's laugh at the scalpers. Haha. But yeah, that's the lineup for Wednesday. Going to be damn good. I cannot wait. We'll get into Raw here at the end of the show. But first, let's move on to the other company, WWE. Actually, before I do that, I apologize. Forgot to mention the report that came through actually today by Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp. Backstage reaction to Okada's AEW redebut and plans. The AEW is very happy with the move. The decision to make him heel was made well ahead of him signing. Sources said that they spoke to Tony Khan as far back as around the holidays once Kenny Omega was sidelined, that they would effectively fire Kenny from the Elite. Specifically, Fightful heard from Tony Khan that long has been believed that even before AEW that Okada can be a major heel on American wrestling television. Sources claimed in AEW claimed the past week that the performances only solidified that the company made the right choice and considered it a home run. They stated Okada's facial expressions in the spot were received very well. Hope is that in AEW he can do things differently than he's ever done in wrestling in the past, with an already decade-long track record in New Japan. AEW and Tony Khan were very confident in the chemistry that the Bucks and Okada had based on their previous work together. And AEW officials told Fightful that they were very happy with the response to the collision segments that Okada was in, as well as the backstage interview segments. And AEW felt that it was important to time his debut for immediately after Sting retired to give another big star in a big spot. And I agree. It was a tremendous. Nobody thought it was going to go out play out this way. And obviously, we can agree that the Bucks have been tremendous in this EVP power hungry heel role, and so adding Okada is something we didn't.
they're having fun again.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, dude, like, they've used social media more in probably like the last 2 weeks than I've seen them use in 2 years. So like
Did one
they are clearly having fun in these roles, and they are embracing the heel characters, and they're just, enjoying,
did wasn't one of their
what they're doing.
entrances
I think it's fantastic.
wasn't one of their entrances like instead of the money like business cards shot
Business
out?
cards, yeah.
Of course, they didn't do
Well,
anything.
they can't use the money now because Okada's using the money, so it
Well,
makes sense. It makes sense they switch that up a bit.
they didn't use the business cards on Saturday, probably because they had the money loaded up. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, Okada, very, very successful in the eyes of AEW, very successful in the eyes of Lost in the Midcard. Now let's switch to WWE and another wild week with another one of the Rock's $500 shirts and another. Well, I don't know what the hell that was that Seth was wearing, but okay.
He was
And
cold.
wow, that I mean, you could fit a small family in that thing, man. Uh, and of course, the SmackDown closing ended up with yet another slap, and Cody this time slapping the taste out of the Rock's mouth. And man, I don't know, man. This has just been such a fun build, and it's now official. WrestleMania Night 1, the tag match is now official, and it's just been a hell of a twists and turns, and I just think that I think they're really doing a great job with a lot of stuff, not just the main event stuff, but I think a lot of stuff they're really building here. This has really been a WrestleMania that I've been excited for, Matt. What did you think about Raw and SmackDown this past week?
Um, I'm trying to remember last week's Raw. I feel like I didn't like it as much as I liked the show the week before. Like, I thought the third hour of Raw the week before was really, really strong, and I don't think they built upon it as much last week. I did think SmackDown was a very good show in terms of building. I know a lot of people were complaining about the overall amount of wrestling that was on the show, but the way I look,
That's every year at WrestleMania
but
season.
here's the way I look at it. There's so much wrestling on every night now. To me, if one of those shows don't turn out to be as wrestling heavy as the others, I'm okay with it. It's a little bit of variety, and we need that in our professional wrestling. I personally didn't have an issue with it. I knew I was going to get an hour of wrestling out of Rampage, right after SmackDown, so it didn't bother me as much as it bothered a lot of other people. But I thought the main issue with SmackDown was the fact that they didn't allot the closing segment enough time for me. I think it should have had another
Yeah.
5. I think it should have had another 5 minutes, because The Rock takes way too many opportunities to pause and extend things when you're on live TV with Fox and you're not getting an overrun, and that news is coming on and knocking you off regardless of what you're doing.
And
I do wish that they maybe have put it on in the middle of the show, or just at least given it another like 5 minutes of padding.
you could have gone to commercial when
To
Roman
run it.
came out, for Christ's sake. We don't have to watch the entire Roman entrance every damn time.
But yeah, I thought the segment ruled. I thought Seth
Mm.
getting in Rock's face was fantastic. I thought Cody bitch slapping the Rock across the face was tremendous.
It was great. That popped.
I definitely think Rock and Roman are winning night 1.
I see it.
Because I see Cody having to overcome everything on night 2 to defeat Roman and win that title.
And I have a feeling
So,
I have a feeling they had some foreshadowing on Friday, being in Texas and Roman putting down Texas. I think we're foreshadowing the last. Everything's been used up. Seth Rollins is down and out. Anybody else that maybe Jay's going to try to help Cody, he gets pushed aside, and then the glass breaks. Then the glass breaks, and oh boy, we're gonna get some. Ooh, we're gonna get some goosebumps, because I think Austin's gonna save the day to lead to the pinfall, because that reaction that Rock's gonna have. Oh yeah,
this was not intentional.
No.
We both noticed it when we came on before. He's wearing Samoa Joe's first ever NXT shirt, and I'm wearing Samoa Joe's first ever AEW shirt. Totally coincidence. We did not do that on purpose.
Nope. Yeah, I put this on this morning before I went to work. So, uh, Charles in the chat, say what's up. How you doing, man? Yeah, Ozzy, I think Stone Cold's going to come out, and The Rock's going to give us the expression of a lifetime. Ryan,
I think Austin's a perfect use there, and if they don't do that, I think it's a missed opportunity. I would be very disappointed if they don't utilize Austin at something like WrestleMania 40, because Rock and Austin are synonymous with each other at WrestleMania.
Yep.
So I would love to see them do that.
We'll get a glorious Rock flop
Ryan,
from a stunner.
I don't think Rock cost Roman on night 2, but I do believe Rock will blame Roman for losing on night 2. I believe
The
Rock
wheels
will put all the blame on Roman, and he will begin to try to start taking the bloodline away from him, because The Rock will deem himself the real tribal chief. I believe The Rock will score the pinfall on night 1.
Yeah.
And then Roman will be pinned on night 2, and this will begin the shift where I believe by the time Rock faces Roman, Roman's going to be a big time baby face again.
Yep.
And Rock will put him over. But I believe that's a ways off. I don't think that's going to happen immediately.
It's amazing. If John Cena was champion for 1,200 days, I don't think he would be cheered at all. But yet Roman Reigns is still cheered. So there is absolutely no or absolutely a very 100% chance that Roman Reigns becomes the babyface out of this. I've seen some people say, "Oh, The Rock's going to be a babyface out of this." No, I think Roman
I think it's the other way around. I think Roman's playing the part of Farouk right now.
Yep.
When The Rock infiltrated and took over the Nation of Domination, I believe Roman is in the Farouk Ron Simmons role right now. I really and truly do, and I believe Roman will come out of all of this as a major, part-time baby face for their company that they don't have anymore because, due to Brock not being used anymore. I believe Roman will be a big, part-time baby face that they'll be able to utilize for years to come after this whole situation with The Rock plays itself out.
A lot of other notable things that came out of SmackDown. What are your thoughts on the Prime in-ring sponsorship?
I think it would happen years ago if Vince wouldn't have been there. I don't have any problem with it. There's been sponsorships on ring mats, non-WWE for years, whether it be Impact, AEW, UFC's been doing it for years now. As long as I can remember, UFC's had stuff on their mats. Like it's to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, why the hell not?
Yep.
It's an open canvas. If it's not going to heed and interfere with the wrestler's work, and you're going to make some additional money by having a product sponsor on your wrestling mat, I don't see any type of issue with it.
And
so I think it's a good thing for WWE. It's a good thing for Prime.
And it got nicely christened by Randy Orton pouring some Prime on KSI on the logo. Great
right on his
segment.
Dick. He poured it on his dick.
Right on his dick. Man, if we didn't know that these two were going to be in the U.S. title picture, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens would be a great tag team to have right now, man. They got a great finisher with the pop-up RKO. I
love the pop-up RKO. I thought that was awesome.
If neither one of them beats Paul at WrestleMania, man, put them in the tag division, man, because they've been cohesive.
I still don't know. I still don't know what they're doing with Paul at Mania, because the triple threat right now doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I still I believe your idea of the multi-man ladder match for the United States title. I think that would probably be the best decision that they could do for Logan Paul's Mania match. You get more people involved, and you give them a spectacle. Ladder matches are always fun.
And you don't directly have Owens and Orton fight, where you could now make them a team after WrestleMania.
And you also don't have to get them pinned either.
No.
So, it would look, and you could throw AJ and LA Knight into it too, because I'm sorry, I'm not into this.
Not as a WrestleMania.
I'm not into this LA Knight AJ Styles feud going into WrestleMania. I'm not interested. I don't buy it.
That poor TV.
It feels extremely forced. I
You
would
can
much
put
rather them get mashed in to
and
the
you can put
U.S.
Theory
title
and Waller in
picture.
there too.
Yeah, if you want to, like, why the hell not?
They're all mixed up in the same boat here, basically, outside of LA Knight and AJ on their own. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be a great match. It's two of my favorite guys of all time, but I'm just
They're
not feeling
definitely
it.
not putting the United States title on the pre-show. Like they've barely even done pre-show matches over the last few years. And honestly, if I'm WWE, what I would do, I would have two kickoffs for night 1 and night 2. Well, night 1 would be for the men, and night 2 would be for the women, and I do those battle royals. And I would make them for something. And I like for a contendership or something important. Make them matter, but you get all the talent in that stadium instead of being stuck on SmackDown the night before and making you feel like shit. Because honestly, if I'm a WWE performer and I'm in town for WrestleMania weekend and I'm stuck doing the Battle Royal on SmackDown instead of doing it in front of 60,000 plus people in the stadium the following night, I feel like gutter trash, dude. Like I would feel like garbage.
I don't know why they moved
So
that to SmackDown.
yeah,
It made no
I
sense.
don't like that at all. I hope Triple H changes that this year, and I
Yeah,
hope we get a battle royal on kickoff on night 1 and a battle royal on kickoff on night 2. Make them matter, give them stakes. People will watch.
stakes.
I think it's a good thing.
I think
So
if anything's locked in for kickoff matches on both nights, it's probably going to be the Battle of the Factions, Legato and LWO, and then Final Judgment and Street Profits and Bobby.
I can't see them throwing Rey Mysterio on the pre-show either.
Well, that
I to me,
that has more of a
well,
main show.
I could see them doing that. I could see them putting that on there over the Logan Paul match. But I still think battle royal is the way to go for men for night 1, women for night 2, or flip it. It doesn't really matter. But I'm hoping that's what we're going to get.
And then if Ryan Johnson's still in watching this, his girl Tiffany, man, she is over. Another big pop for her on SmackDown. And then of course she uh great moment. I don't know if you've seen the video, but meeting with
Yeah,
little
the
girl
fan backstage. Yeah,
that is in remission from cancer. Man, Tiffany, I did not expect the star to rise so fast. I did not expect
it's
oh,
meteoric.
yeah,
It's
and it's Triple H. That's how Triple H works, man.
you heard me for the past year on this show singing the praises of Tiffany Stratton. And I said, like, she's one of the best things to come out of having that NXT 2.0 era. And I truly believe the sky is the limit for her.
Yeah.
She continues to improve each and every week. And I think she's going to have a tremendous career with WWE for years to come.
There's Ryan. He's still with us. He's been a Tiffy fan from day one. I can attest to that. Yeah, and putting her in the ring with Becky Lynch was, I think, a good testament of that. But I did not expect the crowd to react like it has because she's a heel.
Yeah,
She's a rich
the
daddy's girl.
the crowd has embraced her. Well,
Obviously,
they've dropped the whole daddy's girl gimmick. She
yeah,
hasn't
on the
used that
main
in a
roster.
while,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Even in NXT, they dropped it like a quarter of the way into her run,
yeah.
and basically, I believe she did an interview where somebody asked why it was dropped, and they basically told her like, we don't have anybody to play your dad, so we're just gonna have to shift and do something else.
I know a
So
guy. I know a guy in AEW.
will
I
you
can play the dad.
stop? Will you stop?
Father of the year.
Tiffany is awesome.
Moving on. A guy who used to be in WWE. Ain't no stopping me now. Shelton Benjamin officially a free agent and has some suitors, according to Fightful Select. That Shelton Benjamin and AEW did not have contact initially upon his free agency. The two have recently had conversations about him appearing for the company. There's no confirmation if he's going to appear or sign a contract or be full time yet. Nothing has been finalized, but the two sides are in contact now, as far back as about a month ago. There are people in AEW pushing for Shelton. I'm guessing mainly Danielson is probably one of them. And Matt brought it up. There's a tag team tournament coming up.
That's how I bring them in.
Haas and Benjamin,
I'm bringing in Haas and Benjamin.
the world's greatest tag team.
You don't even need to sign them yet. Bring them in, put them in a tournament, and see what they can do.
Put them in
And if they can
FTR.
still go like I think they can still go, you sign them to a deal.
Oh,
to me, it's a no-brainer. You bring
them an FTR, man. Them an FTR.
That would be special. It would be very special.
Give props to the Captain Sean Dean and Carly Bravo. Good promo with FTR. I've always been a Sean Dean fan. I'd like to see a little more of the infantry up on the AEW side of things as opposed to ROH. I think that was a good promo, so it's good. Let's see what they do in the ring. Obviously, they're going to have a shot. They're probably going to face FTR somewhere down the line.
I don't feel like I've seen enough from them in Ring of Honor to warrant them being in this tournament.
It depends on how big the tournament is.
Do they deserve a shot on AEW programming? Absolutely.
I mean, what if there's 16 teams?
Okay, yes. If it ends up being a 16-team tournament, okay, fine. They deserve. If it's an 8-team tournament, they shouldn't be involved.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and you're right. If it's a 16-team tournament, sure, the infantry should be there. But if it's an
March Madness,
tournament,
Tony needs
there's no way that the infantry, in my eyes, have done enough on Ring of Honor, and I cover that show for WrestleZone every single week. I do not believe the infantry have done enough in Ring of Honor to warrant them to have a shot at winning the AEW World Tag Team titles, because they haven't even got close to sniffing the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Why should I believe that they have a shot of getting the AEW ones? That's my whole stance on the infantry's involvement. The promo was fine. The segment was good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. 16 teams, I can see it. 8 teams, absolutely not. It'll be interesting to see those brackets, because they said on Collision that the tournament starts this Saturday night on Collision. So hopefully by
the brackets Wednesday.
I was going to say, hopefully by no later than Saturday, we will see these brackets. I would love to see them on Wednesday, but only time will tell.
Next up here, another AEW situation, contract as well. We've learned that Matt Hardy's AEW contract is set to expire soon. He was brought into the company in 2020 right as the pandemic hit, where he was signed to a contract. And Jeff Hardy's deal, though, still has some time due to inactivity and injuries. Hardy and AEW are in contact and about the deal, but have not heard whether it's going to be extended or not. Matt Hardy, 49 years old right now, booked only in one match so far in 2024, though wrestled regularly last year. I would figure they're going to get a deal done, but it's just the run, just with Jeff especially, just hasn't been able to materialize due to
something always happens.
Something happening.
And the latest thing, Sammy Guevara ended up
Steven, yes, TMZ reported that they have split up. CJ Perry confirmed to TMZ that they split up, unfortunately. Surprising news.
They did say that neither side have filed for divorce yet. So
correct. It's a separation, yeah.
They could still reconcile.
Yeah.
And apparently they're still friends, and apparently they're still going to work together in AEW.
And they want to work together. They do want to work together, yeah.
It really doesn't matter. It's really not. To me, it's none of our business.
Nope.
It's personal.
Yeah, literally
stuff,
that dropped right as we went on the air. That thing dropped.
Here's the thing with Matt Hardy. AEW has been very quick when contracts expire to yank these people off their roster page. Matt, it was reported after Jeff showed up on AEW Dynamite on March 9th, 2022, that Matt and Jeff were re-signed to deals, so their deals would expire on the same time, which means Matt Hardy's contract with AEW would have expired 2 days ago. It is now the 11th. He is still on the AEW roster page, which says to me, this is nothing. They've negotiated a new deal. He's sticking around. Because to me, Matt leaving Jeff behind right now and leaving him on the road alone would be a devastating move on Matt and AEW's part.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep Jeff around for the duration of the rest of his deal, you got to have Matt there with him.
On
Because
top of that,
you don't want to take any chances of a relapse or anything serious to happen to that guy after everything that he's gone through. So I think this is nothing. I believe him. I believe Matt and AEW have already come to terms on a new deal. I'm not reporting that, but based on information that I have and looking at the way of the land and how AEW typically operates, I'm saying Matt Hardy and AEW probably already have a new deal done.
And on top of that, I think Matt Hardy is very valuable behind the scenes, and Tony Khan sees that. I think Tony Khan wants to keep him as all the way through retirement and then after retirement.
And we've yet to truly have that Hardy's run in AEW because something already always freaking happens.
Yeah.
So like I don't feel like this should be over until we at least get that run from Matt and Jeff that I know that they're capable of, and quite frankly, they deserve.
Yep.
So hopefully we get that when Jeff's back from his, I believe he got a broken nose from that spot with Sammy,
which caused Sammy to get suspended.
I don't really know how long that would take him to get cleared. I would have loved him to be back in time for this tournament.
Non-concussion, I would say 6 weeks. If he has a concussion, that's going to be a whole different ballgame.
All reports say he didn't have a concussion.
So I would say 6 to 8 weeks then probably.
How long ago was it?
He could wear a mask too. If he has to.
If I'm AEW, I'm putting them in the tournament and I'm making it one of the last matches of the first round.
Have him wear a mask to be safe.
And let Matt work most of it if he has to.
True.
Like to me, like the Hardys belong in this tournament way more than the infantry do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably get we may get some brackets on Wednesday. I mean, it would be smart to have some brackets on Wednesday because
a lot of eyeballs. I believe a lot of eyeballs will be on that show Wednesday night. So
that and March Madness starts the following week, so you want to kind of capitalize on that popularity. That's why I would love to have a 16-team tournament, just to have a big.
They have enough teams to do 16 if they wanted to. There'd be a lot of very obvious first round matchups in terms of we know who's advancing, but they definitely have enough teams to do between Ring of Honor and AEW that they could run, a 16-team tournament with very little issue.
Exactly.
I could probably put together 16 teams when we come off the air here and put together a freaking bracket if I needed to.
Right. Last news story of the day. 2 updates into actually 3 since we were on the air to the WWE Hall of Fame. Legendary Japanese wrestler Bull Nakano, of course, who had some legendary matches with Medusa. I was trying to think of her WWE name, Lunder Blaze. Well, I couldn't think of that one right off the top of my head. So Bull Nakano rightfully getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, as is the U.S. Express, which, with the unfortunate passing of Bray Wyatt, I think getting both Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham in this class, tremendous. If you haven't seen it yet, look up the video short of Triple H giving Mike and Barry a Zoom call. It is emotional and tremendous and very cool to see the U.S. Express, who competed in the first WrestleMania, won the tag. I think they won the tag titles at the first WrestleMania, didn't they, Matt?
2-time WWF Tag Team Champions.
And just
they were only with the company for like a little over a year.
Oh yeah, they went back to NWA. Yeah, they went back to NWA for a time, and then until Rotunda came back as IRS, obviously with
Money Inc.
With DiBiase, and then eventually Wyndham came back as the Jackal. That went over.
No, the Jackal was
Was it the Jackal, Barry Windham? Or was he the...
You're thinking of the Stalker.
Oh, the Stalker. Yeah, Barry Windham.
The Jackal was freaking Don Callis.
That's right. The Stalker.
Come on, man.
Yeah, they're both Army dudes. Ozzy and Muhammad is still on our screen. There goes. Muhammad did get a lot of screen time the other day. Is Virgil in the Hall of Fame? He's not, but
I don't believe so.
I don't know how.
I'm sure
Well,
I'm sure these plans were also in place before he passed away too. So
well, and then you got the. I mean, I don't know what the relationship with Virgil to WWE was. I mean, didn't he talk shit about WWE a lot?
talk shit about everybody.
That's true. And then $20 for an autograph.
But I mean,
Uh,
the Ali induction totally makes sense why he's in 2K24.
yeah.
So I mean, it just
Also appeared at the first WrestleMania as the special guest referee with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Piper and Orndorff, and so
which I believe 2K probably wanted for Showcase, but for some reason they weren't able to come to terms with to get Orndorff in the game. But I believe with the inclusion of Ali and everything, the addition of the special referee mode and everything this year, I believe that was their plan, and they just weren't able to come to terms to get Mr. Wonderful in, and that's why we didn't get that match.
real quickly, tonight's Raw, Gunther will face the winner of the Gauntlet match at WrestleMania. We'll find out that. I'm still thinking it's going to be Gable. I think Gable's going to beat Gunther. That's my opinion.
I'm going Sami Zayn.
That's the other choice. Liv Morgan and the Man. That'll be a good match. Baszler and Stark against the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag titles. Michael Cole exclusive interview with Cody Rhodes. We got a couple minutes.
Apparently, the Aldis and Pierce have a major announcement as well.
Oh,
so
that's about the tag titles, which
I'm assuming it has something to do with the tag team titles.
A lot of people think it's going to. But
I don't know. I don't know what it is yet. I would love it if they. I would love if they were gonna split them, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure. We got the Raw plans, pal.
So while we got a couple of minutes, came out nationwide on Friday. Matt, what are your thoughts on WWE 2K24?
I like it more than last year's. Gameplay is smoother, and I think the transition to moves works better. I still hate the combo system, and I don't know if I'm ever going to like the combo system. I'm just not a fan of it, but I definitely feel like the game is a step in the right direction from last year. I've been playing My Rise, and I've been enjoying that. So yeah, like I've only played it for I haven't played it for a ton, but what I've played I've enjoyed a lot better than 2K23. So it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I pre-ordered 24, so I got 23 for free. Barely even touched it. I didn't have time, and I haven't had time to play 24 yet. So hopefully, maybe tonight after Raw, I might finally put it in or something, and give it a check. See, but
that's what the PlayStation Portal's good for, my friend.
Well, I'm not home, so
you can take the PlayStation Portal on the road.
Can you? I thought you had to be on the same network.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, again, but I'm not going to be playing it while I'm DJing. I'm not going to be playing it while I'm working. So
that'd be funny as hell to watch you playing Portal while you're DJing.
Yeah. Well,
it's Raw time, pal.
It is time for Dick Wolf to write us off. So once again, thanks for joining us. We do this every week. Join us again. But for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost Midcard. Come follow us on Twitter. We're going to be talking Raw right now. Have a good week.